What's going on, guys? Astro with Hidden Profits Crypto, a channel focused on bringing you the best low cap hidden gems and turning you into a smart risk, high reward investor. Today we're going to be taking a look at something new, the idea of Web5. Now, this was introduced by Jack Dorsey himself on Twitter a few weeks ago, actually, and just kind of came out of the blue. As far as I knew, we were still chilling in Web3 and trying to build that since it's a new idea and it's not really even a thing yet. But apparently we're moving on to Web5. I don't know where Web4 went or when, Web 6 or 7's coming out, but I'll make sure to make a video whenever Web 6 and 7 comes out. But without getting too far into it, we're going to go ahead and take a look at it. So let's get started. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start off here at the Twitter. So you can see here, this is likely our most important contribution to the internet. Proud of the team, hashtag Web5. RIP Web3 VCs, and then there's a link that takes you to the website, which we're going to check out here in a second. Now, with the whole RIP Web3 VCs thing, now I feel like this might be because, VCs play a large part in the crypto space. These projects, when they're getting started, they get a ton of capital from these VCs. And then the VCs have a ton of tokens, which can lead to all sorts of issues. If it's a governance token, then they have a ton of voting power over everybody else. If they want to dump the token, they can just dump the token and bring the whole market down. There's a lot of bad things that can come with VCs. It is kind of... I don't want to say a necessity, but obviously a lot of these projects, that's how they get off the ground and get started. So, a little interesting take there. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into this website and see what we got going on here. All right, so this is the website that the link takes you to, Web5, an extra decentralized web platform. And I will go ahead and give you a forewarning. You're going to hear decentralized more in this video than you'll probably ever hear in anything ever. I don't know if it's just because they really want to drive home the idea that they're decentralized, or maybe it's just a kind of a hot word they want to throw in here. Building an extra decentralized web that puts you in control of your data and identity. The web democratized the exchange of information, but it's missing a key layer: identity. We struggle to secure personal data with the hundreds of accounts and passwords we can't remember. On the web today, identity and personal data have become the property of third parties. And, that is very true. That's the exact reason why Web3 was being built, because Web 2 is literally just a bunch of vultures taking your data and then selling it. And, you might not have any idea of what's going on, but behind the scenes, they are profiting off of you a ton. Just using your data. So Web5 brings decentralized identity and storage to your applications. It lets devs focus on creating delightful user experiences while returning ownership of data and identity to individuals. So you can see here, Web 2, Web 3, and then boom, we went straight into Web5. Like I said, don't know where 6 or 7 or possibly even 8 is, but I'm sure we'll find out. So they got a little PDF here kind of explaining a little bit more in depth what Web5 is, and we'll take a very quick look at that. But here are some of the components. So decentralized identifiers. Decentralized identifiers are a W3C international standard for identifiers created, owned, and controlled by individuals without reliance on centralized entities. Decentralized web node, an implementation of DIF's emerging decentralized personal data store standard. Self-sovereign identity service, an in-a-box service that handles the full verifiable credentials lifecycle, including issuance, verification, revocation, and more. And then a self-sovereign identity SDK, standards-based primitives used for decentralized identifiers and verifiable credentials. So I think the idea here is they kind of want to just give people the ability to just build all on this kind of one platform, and that one platform is going to evolve into this Web5 idea. And then, with this SDK and these other things, they're kind of giving people the tools that they can kind of build it, and it'll just all kind of integrate with itself. So we're going to skip this little part here, but we're going to go to the use cases. So control your identity. Alice holds a digital wallet that securely manages her identity, data, and authorizations for external apps and connections. Alice uses her wallet to sign in to a new decentralized social media app. Because Alice is connected to the app with her decentralized identity, she does not need to create a profile, and all her connections, relationships, and posts she creates through the app are stored with her in a decentralized web node. Now, Alice can switch apps whenever she wants, taking her social persona with her. And then we have Own Your Data. So Bob is a music lover and hates having his personal data locked into a single vendor. It forces him to regurgitate his playlists and songs over and over across different music apps. Thankfully, there's a way out of this maze of vendor-locked silos. Bob can keep his data in his decentralized web node. This way, Bob is able to grant any music app access to his settings and preferences, enabling him to take his personalized music experience wherever he chooses. So, the basic idea, obviously it's great, right? Because we all want to kind of have our own little identity. And I think the idea of being able to just kind of go across apps without having to log in and all that information is kind of following you. I think that's a cool idea, but I feel like there's projects and this idea has kind of been a thing for a long time on Web3. So I don't really understand why it needs to specifically be with Web5. And then the own your data idea, I mean, again, that's nothing new. That's kind of the entire basis of Web3. So again, a little confusion there on why this needs to be its own separate entity. So that's pretty much it for the website. This is the little PDF thingy, and this kind of goes over basically the same exact idea. In the current web model, people are users who do not own their own data or identity. They are given accounts by companies, and their data is held captive in app silos. And then this is the web that they want to create a new class of decentralized apps and protocols. For example, the TV DEX that puts individuals at the center. We must empower them with self-owned identity and restore control over their data. So again, I don't really disagree with that, but I just don't really get the idea of why this needs to be its own like Web5 kind of thing. So they go into detail more about the verifiable credentials, decentralized web nodes, an identity wallet, kind of how it would work, as well as the Web5 network, and just some more real technical things that I'm sure most of you don't know nor care. So we're not going to really go over it, but I feel like that's mainly it. If you guys want to come check this out and read through it on your own to get a better idea, feel free. So I've just figured we'd take a second to kind of look at how this could affect the rest of the crypto space, because from the research that I've done and what I've heard, Jack's idea here is more or less that this all is going to be built on Bitcoin. So instead of having, we've got Bitcoin and Ethereum and Kadena and Cardano and all these other things, and then you've got tons of other projects with DeFi and NFTs and all this, right? I think the idea here is to kind of just centralize it all. Funny I'm using that word when they constantly are pushing decentralized, but they want to centralize it all on Bitcoin, I'm assuming, because they're saying that there's really no token that you're going to have to, buy to be able to participate in this. So I'm assuming if they're, planning on having it all on Bitcoin, because Jack is pretty much a Bitcoin maxi, you're going to have to use something, I would assume, for transactions and those other things. So my only idea is that they would use Bitcoin, right? So the one thing that I just, my head, the way I think, who are all the people who are going to have the most advantage on this platform if it's only using Bitcoin and everything is Bitcoin? Well, the Bitcoin maxis, the people who have, hundreds, if not thousands of Bitcoin locked up and are already extremely wealthy. So these are the kind of people I think that are going to be more aligned with this. Me personally, I don't give a rat's ass about Web5. I don't even know if this will be a thing that actually happens. And, to address its effect on Kadena or the rest of the crypto space, I personally don't think that this will affect the rest of the space. I think the people that want to get involved in this will get involved in this. But I also think the average person, they probably don't care at all, right? I think that's why we see like a strong community on Web3, because we all have the idea that we don't like the government telling us what to do. We don't like the Fed and all these centralized things controlling our money and finances and all these other things, right? So I feel like the people who are in Web3 right now are people who are really solid into that idea of kind of having your own sovereignty with, all these things. So maybe those people might dabble into the idea of Web 5, but personally, I just don't care. I don't, if Web 4 came out tomorrow, I wouldn't give a shit. If Web 5 comes out next week, I won't care. I made the joke multiple times now, but Web 6, Web 7. So when does this stop, right? Are we going to end up with a Web 10 in 2 years from now? In my opinion, this is really just the exact same idea of Web 3, but just kind of taking it and putting it on Bitcoin alone. And yeah. Great idea. Don't know what the use case of this will really be, or how the average everyday, mass population will care about this. So I guess we'll see how it plays out. But for right now, I'll stick with dealing with Web3 and trying to build on Web3 with Pact. And having fun with my Kadena. Like I said, Flux is already doing the idea of decentralized nodes, and Kadena and all the other projects that are on Flux are already fully decentralized, as well as it being, proof of work blockchain. It's already decentralized. So no matter how many times you throw decentralized in a article, I don't think it really makes a difference on your idea. Like, we get it. You want it to be decentralized. I understand. But, we want Web3 to be decentralized, and it's not fully decentralized. There's a lot of these blockchains and layer 2s and all this stuff. They're running on Amazon Web Services and a lot of these other servers and stuff. So, I don't know. I don't want to ramble too long, but hopefully this video gave you a little bit of a look at what Web 5 is going to be, and if you should be worried about if your favorite coin might be in danger because of Web 5. I wouldn't hold your breath, and I would just, take this with a grain of salt. Maybe keep it in the back of your head as an idea of something that might happen in the future, but I wouldn't jump the gun. So anyways, that's going to wrap up today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you do, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and tick that notification bell so you guys can stay up to date with all my future videos on content similar to this, Kadena, and a lot of other great crypto projects. Also, make sure to leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about Web 5. Are you drinking the Kool-Aid? Is this your thing? Or, you're going to kind of stay with Web 3 and what we've already been doing. I don't really see a need for it, but, to each their own. So that's it. Also, make sure to go follow me at hidden_crypto on Twitter. I always forget to say that. You guys can follow me there if you want to stay a little bit more in depth with what I've got going on. I do a lot of more updates there before YouTube, and then we do some giveaways with projects and a lot of other fun stuff over there. So make sure to go follow me. All my other socials are in the link in the description, so you can go check that out if you're interested. But it's going to be it for me today. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you next time. And until then, peace.